There's like 40 pages describing each area.
Wow. I'm almost surprised they couldn't take the map and just put it on the back.
What do you mean?
Like, have the back of the map be like a layout of the castle?
It is. So, like, the front of the map downstairs is like the map of Barovia and the land, and then the other side is all of Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, it's saying, like, you have to look at that poster, like the map. It's not in the book. Whereas, like, everything else in, I mean, like, everything else just has, like, little maps of the areas that you guys will be going to.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, that's all right. I think I have it on D&D Beyond, too. We'll make do.
I wonder if anyone's ever taken the time to, like, make a Minecraft map.
It's got to be, like, just as tedious as doing it on Tailspire. It's the same concept. You're building, like, little brick by brick,
Right.
you know, little tile by tile. Like, I'm sure, I mean, I feel like Curse of Strahd is popular enough that someone's bound to have done it.
Yeah, building this is still really impressive, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Holy crap.
Let me find
The scale of this thing.
my Strahd token. Where's he at, though? There he is.
This little pod racer.
No. Just Strahd.
Is he still
There
a
he
horse head
is.
with concepts?
No. I actually got a real token of him now.
Dunkel, it looks like you're just kneeling before Strahd.
Yeah.
There's Lyudmila. There's Rahadin.
Every once in a while, I forget that I have emo hair and a goatee. And then when I remember, it makes me really happy.
I love it. Here's Valenta, the first bride that you guys defeated.
About that right here.
Which one is the one that Sal was talking to last week?
I'm trying to find her.
Oh my god, that scared me. Alex is printing something.
She doing schoolwork?
Oh yeah, she's
Remember
very
my
deep in that life.
how hard I tried. It just slowly go downhill.
Oh, here's Escher.
It's a whole little party here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the other bride. There's one more. Anastasia, was that her name? Pretty sure.
Sasha, wasn't it? Oh, no, that was just the other girl.
Oh no, that's the other one. So there's four women, one guy. Here's Anastasia.
Oh,
I don't know if I found a token for the other lady.
the white-haired one in the chat.
Yeah. What's her name? Yeah, Sasha Ivlaskova. If I can find her. Community. Yeah, I found one. It's kind of lame, but what else happened last week?
Sal went to go find Sasha. No one likes Anton.
Anton spilled some shit on one of them, right?
They were talking to him about it.
And he's like missing the tips of his fingers.
What else did I write down? Sasha's also looks like scared of Irina or like surprised that she's there. Basically, they just like got there, fell in the basement, and now we're going on tour.
That sounds right. Oh my god, I found.
A bunch of questions. Knuckleheaded grasshopper catching contest.
That was crazy.
I need to share. I saw this, so you guys have to. Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
It's a tough watch.
Oh no.
Personally, I'm excited already.
What are we doing?
Ooh, baby.
Oh, it's on the screen.
Do I watch this one?
What am I watching? Like, where was it
Some-
sent?
Go to the stream that he just posted.
Oh.
Mortified.
Oh.
This popped up when I typed in that lady's name on Hero Forge.
Oh.
Sheesh.
Oh, the Pikachu's
Alright.
so gross.
Why does the
Yeah.
Pikachu have moobs?
That's weird.
Alright.
Oh.
I don't know why that popped up as.
Wild.
Unhinged.
Straight up.
Just disgusting.
I love how you said you guys have to see this too now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
Disgusting. There's really no token for this lady, so I'm gonna have to just use.
She's been perfect, Ikenna. I could not ask for a better child.
That's our girl.
I think the other two are great. A parent doesn't have favorites.
Yeah. You keep telling yourself that.
I'm telling myself, Finn's really going to surprise me.
We told you when one day when he's like going off to college, he'll just look at you and be like, "I'm sorry, Dad."
Yeah, he's gonna be like,
She
"Hey,
will.
remember all those years? My bad."
I'm going to be like 80 and decrepit, like unable to move, and like he's going to be the one to like pick me up, to, like wheelchair me out to go fishing and stuff,
Yeah.
you know? It's going to be like,
Gonna
alright.
come full circle.
That's why I let you stay in my hospital through all of that. You sweet boy.
Yeah, and Sawyer would do that for you, but he's too busy like creating a new drug or like like curing cancer. Yeah.
There was a guy that was like, he was a contractor and he was like painting my house. And it was like when we found out that we had a daughter coming. And he's like, "Oh, is it a boy or a girl?" And like he knew that he saw Misty every day, so he knew she was pregnant. I was like, "Oh, it's a girl." And he's like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you. Like 2 boys and now a girl." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, it's really good, man." He's like, "I've got all girls, and you know, boys are great and all, but like when you get old, they'll just like pay for you to be taken care of. Like your girl will like actually take care of you."
Right.
And I was like, "Huh, that's probably a lot of truth."
That's cute.
Can't even wait. I just threw a random token on. She doesn't have a white dress or anything, but that's gonna be the
Oh my
Sasha.
god.
Yeah, it actually looks nothing like her. I couldn't find anything even like close to like just a vampire bride or a bride in white dress or anything.
Is that
So,
Ahsoka's skeleton?
huh?
Ahsoka.
Yeah, is that Ahsoka's skeleton?
Ahsoka. Kind of
Oh,
does look
with
like one.
little head
one of
things.
these.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Spooky.
could be. Yeah, yeah. There's really nothing. I mean, or I could just use the horse head with legs.
I mean, that seems like the logical
I mean, it's
option.
definitely a crowd favorite, but I'm good.
That's what the big bad guy at the end.
Or I could use this lady.
Quiet
But
natural.
it's more of a zombie.
We crushed Strahd like in a blink.
Alright, which one?
Which one?
They're both spooky. I think.
I like the one on the left more.
The one that like has the blood on her mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I like it too. It's not necessarily a vampire, but we can just pretend.
Close enough.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. This whole posse.
And yours really poppy.
Coming over the front door. We're gonna have to get a little tricky and do some camera work again, I bet.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. We should be okay.
Doors opening. Okay, so we see the whole cast. Make sure everyone is saved as a character, so I can just pull them very easily next time. Oop. Okay, everyone should be saved. So really, in reality, Escher went away. Who's walking with you on the tour? Rahadin, I think he's not going to go with you. Ludmilla. So the tour is going to be Strahd and y'all, except for Sal, who's hanging back. Let's, for the sake of ease, not even use Val right now. Just move everyone on in.
Almost everyone.
Yeah. It's the lighting. I feel like it's really dark.
Yeah, can you guys see in here?
I can see, but it's
Yeah.
certainly darker in comparison than most.
Yeah. Can I help you? Wayne?
Yeah, it's be dark, but
I made Hattie and I a torch.
you check some folder for that.
It's a
I did
little,
not.
little brighter now.
I showed you the Calamari thing. Does he need stuff on his hands?
From last 2 days ago.
edit it.
Hilarious. This picture's so funny. You're making me so funny.
Hey, Randy,
Yes.
how would you transport 8 bottles of bourbon?
I would take something like. No, I don't care that much. I would take like a hoodie, and I would put like 2 in each sleeves,
Yeah.
and I'd put 4 in the body, and then I would just make sure that there was cloth in between. Like bottles are actually like really meant to withstand like a lot of like
like distress. Yeah.
Like they're pretty strong. You'd have to like really fuck up. Like when I like bring them home from trips, I literally just like stuff them in like jeans and hoodies.
Right.
But a hoodie is always the best for me as far
Okay.
as like I can just fit the most in it.
That's a good idea because I have plenty of those.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch in a minute. My arm's going to fall off.
And over.
She wants to be moving.
Bounce around.
Ow.
Hello.
All right. I found a PDF of the castle.
Oh.
I sure hope she's not printing in color.
Why?
Because she printed off like all of her IEPs, but she printed
Yeah.
off like there were like 80 pages each. It was like something crazy like that, and she had 6 of them. So
Print them
like,
at school.
Yeah. Well, I bought a printer so she could print stuff at home, which is fine. But like, I thought it would just be like worksheets and like, but like we ended up going through like 180 pages of paper and like most of our ink in one day. So we're running low on like every ink other than black.
Heavens.
Yeah. But it should be fine. I just hope she's not printing color.
Do you mean to let her know you said that?
No.
I'm just kidding. We go upstairs. Where are we now?
Oof. My arms are sore.
You're red.
Oh, man, it hurts really bad when I do like chest presses. Shoulder presses hurt this today. It's not bad. It's like mostly better.
Courtyard. Did the gate. We did the courtyard. Did the carriage house. Okay, you are in the great entry right now. Right now we were in. I believe we were in the dining hall. Yeah, we were at the dining hall. So getting to the dining hall from here would be a left, then a right. Left.
Oh.
Then oh god.
Uh-oh. Okay, there it is.
No, a right and then a left. Oh my gosh, why? Of course the map would be backwards. Why would that? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Gotta be kidding me.
Are you kidding?
Oh, not that way. Oh, we're so close. Here's the door. Open. These are all in there. You find it, kinda?
Yep.
Now I have to find
It's a cool organ.
Sal. This hoe. Okay. Whew! We made it.
Woo.
Kevin and the other bride, we're gonna kind of just like have you hang back for a minute, do your stuff after the tour, and get some lore of the halls here. So you will. So Strahd takes you from the dining hall. He encourages you guys to take torches. So here, I guess I'll go ahead and apply a torch on every single person. It'll just kind of help.
I declined because I have dark vision.
Okay, I'm gonna put a torch on your token anyways, just for like us being able to see. Make it easier in case things are dark. But we will noted that Dunkel does not have one. You've left the dining hall. So we go to the guests hall first, which is here. It's everyone. I'm sure someone got stuck on a wall.
Yep.
Oh my, make it stop. Okay, you're in the guest hall. Great. It's mostly just like a little area kind of connecting the dining hall to the great entry. He moves you through the grand entry, which you guys kind of already came through. And he takes you to the Hall of Faith, which is this way.
The Hall of what?
Aim?
Hall of Faith.
Faith.
Got it.
Faith.
The torch is turning
Okay.
like a reddish color in
Huh?
here. No, nothing. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, it's a grand hall. It's just a hallway right now. So, it's a grand hall choked with dust, and it stretches into darkness ahead. There's webs hanging from the ceilings like drapes. Then along the way, there are life-size statues of knights that line this hallway. The eyes seem to be like following you as you're watching, as you're walking through. Strahd shares. He says, "This castle was built over 4 centuries prior upon the ruins of a much older fortress, which lay atop the pillar stone of Ravenloft. I put out the call for mages, architects, and engineers from every corner of my conquests, and from every corner they came." He continues. Let me like group you guys a little closer through the hallway. Into the cell. Oh, who is that?
Hattie and Sal.
Gavin. Oh, dear heavens. Did I accidentally grab Sal, or is that... Oh, I thought that... No, it's Gavin. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. He brings you into... Here, I'm just going to move Strahd, and you can help kind of like move yourselves around the area if you want and follow him. Okay, he moves you into the chapel. Oh, it's a huge area. Okay. So you guys came from... God, it's just a large area. area, and they have like multiple descriptions of this room.
Wants to see it or done.
Hmm.
Oops, it's 45.
Okay, you enter the chapel. Dim colored light fills through tall, broken, and boarded up windows of stained glass, illuminating the ancient chapel of Ravenloft. A few bats flutter about near the top of the 90-foot high domed ceiling. The balcony runs the length of the west wall, 50 feet above the floor. In the center of the balcony, okay. Nothing there. Okay. Benches coated with centuries of dust lie about the floor in jumbled disarray, clearly not being used recently. Beyond this debris, lit by a piercing shaft of light, an altar stands upon a stone platform. Um, the sides of the altar are carved with bas reliefs of angelic figures entwined with grapevines. The light from above falls directly on a silver statuette. Uh, okay. Upon entering this chapel, Strahd again reminisces aloud. I've recalled the day Prefect Cyril Romulic first dedicated the sacred hall to the glory of the Morning Lord. Each man and woman had such faith in the power of his consecration, yet behold what it has become. He shakes his head and then asks you all, what is it that you have faith in?
My lineage.
Myself.
My bow.
Sal?
I'm not here, right?
Oh yeah, you're not here. Heavens. Val? um, Bo, self, lineage. He turns and regards the great stained glass sun in the highest chapel window. He looks up and he says, I have never found much use for faith in other things or creatures. Far better, it seems, to place one's faith entirely in oneself and to master one's fate without reliance upon others. Do you disagree? He looks and gives you a nod of approval, Hattie. Do you have inspiration?
I have 2.
Oh, have a third.
Right.
He likes your answer. He gives like a grim smile and a nod of approval to you, Hattie, as he takes you through the North Chapel access. Oh, heavens. Which wait. Kenna, I'm so sorry. I'm literally just gonna move Strahd, if that's cool.
You're good. This camera just doesn't want to work with me. Okay.
Nope. I did read though on this map, it's easier to just if you shift click
Yeah.
an individual token, you can just transport them somewhere. But if you shift click a group, it's not going to work. So if I shift click Strahd, I can just move him to certain places.
Shift right click or left click?
Left click. So hold shift and then left click like Hattie.
Yeah.
And then let go of the click.
Got it. Like that.
You can like transport. Yeah, I'm I read like on the creator of the map that trying to walk upstairs is going to be a nightmare, and it's
Gotcha.
better to just try to like shift click your way up.
Okay.
Yeah, the North Chapel access. It's an arched room that connects to a vast chamber to the east and a staircase that rises to the west. Alcoves in the north and south walls hold 8-foot tall sculptures of helmed knights with muscular builds, and black shadows fall across their faces. And then we are on our way up the staircase.
If it's applicable, Taylor,
Mhm.
at any point, if if Sal would reasonably be joining the tour based off of like timing on a potential conversation that we'll be having, I don't know how that might look or anything, but I'm like, if theoretically I'm to join the party whenever you deem acceptable, just let me know.
Okay, sounds good. It probably won't line up that you would join the tour.
Just wanted to make sure, though.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. We are Creaky Landing. Okay, yeah, the staircase that you just went up, made of old wood that strains underfoot, creaking and groaning. Up to the king's balcony, which is where y'all are right now. There's a sculpted stone railing that encloses a long balcony overlooking the chapel there, which overlooks, like I just said, Ravenloft's chapel. 2 ornate thrones stand side by side in the center of the balcony, covered with dust and strung with cobwebs. The thrones face away from the double doors that give access to the balcony. There are actually no bones sitting on the thrones. I don't know why those were thrown in there, but I think just for flair. So don't worry about those. They're just empty thrones overlooking the balcony. And then he takes you through. I'd have to do some camera work here to get through, but there's another door underneath here. Strahd takes you through. 7. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're in this hall, King's Hall. It's a 20-foot high hall that has a dark vaulted ceiling draped with cobwebs. A low moan seems to travel the length of the corridor as it rises and falls, intoning sadness and despair in the area around you. There's also hanging from an iron rod bolted to the eastern wall is a dusty 10-foot square tapestry depicting knights on horseback charging across a battlefield under a blood-red sky. The lead knight rides a black horse and wears a fur-lined black cloak, dark gray armor, and a visored helm shaped like a wolf's head. His sword glows with the light of the sun. As you walk past the tapestry, Strahd pauses beside it. Do you know what this tapestry depicts?
No?
What?
This tapestry depicts my father, King Barov, leading his fearsome knights into glorious battle. That sword, the bright blade, a sword fashioned from the hilt of an elven moon blade, and a crystal blade imbued with the radiance of the Morning Lord. It was broken long ago, however. You notice his voice oddly hollow as he describes the tapestry. He continues on. Go ahead.
You bring this painting like here? Like your dad wasn't in Barovia, was he?
Oh, long ago, yes. My family has been in Barovia for a long time.
All right.
What broke his special sword?
There are many tales. Some
Sure.
right,
What
some
do you think?
what?
Yeah, but what do you think happened?
He pauses and thinks a moment. He says, "What I think? I think the sword is long lost. Do I think it is broken? Perhaps. But perhaps not. Wherever it is, I'm glad it is gone and will stay far, far away. The light
Why
of
do
the
you
Morning
think
Lord is
gone?
no more.
What was he going to war for?
For Barovia,
Who was waging the war against Barovia?
those who wished to take it from my father." He says, "There were many who tried, many who failed. My father was a fierce warrior. Um, he says,
Where,
it was, go ahead.
where was this battle fought?
This, oh,
I'll be right back.
quite sure where this specific one was, and might be more of a general story rather than a specific battle." He said, the tapestry more highlights the sword, the bright blade.
What's it called?
The bright blade is what he calls it.
What's so special about it?
So, as I said, it was a sword fashioned from the hilt of an elven moon blade, and a
Right? Like,
crystal blade imbued with the radiance of the Morning Lord.
it's just like super strong.
Very strong indeed.
But your dad was like into the Morning Lord though.
He pauses, and you see a look of hatred on his face. That he was.
How do you
You can
feel
see,
about the Morning Lord?
says the Morning Lord is no more. The Morning Lord has no reach in the land of Barovia.
You hate the Morning Lord so much because your dad loved him.
It could be, or because I am simply more powerful than the Morning Lord. I do not need the Morning Lord.
What happened to your dad?
He is dead.
Yeah, how?
Stopped breathing.
You think it was the power of the Morning Lord that killed him?
What's that?
You think it was the Morning Lord that killed him?
I don't think it was the Morning Lord.
How do you know the scale of the Morning Lord's power?
What's that?
How do you know the scale of the Morning Lord's power?
The scale.
How do you know that you're stronger than the Morning Lord?
I understand. Do you see any sign of the Morning Lord here in my land?
No, but that doesn't mean that you're stronger than him. It just means he's not here.
Well, until the Morning Lord shows back up, I have no reason to worry.
You are worried.
About what?
The Morning Lord. And him
No, I'm
showing
not.
back up.
Whatever gave the impression that I was worried of the Morning Lord, Dunkel?
The last sentence you said was, until the Morning Lord returns, I have nothing to worry about.
That is fair. A figure of speech, but taken quite literally. Dunkel, no, I have no fear of the Morning Lord. I have no fear of the Morning Lord's return. If the Morning Lord does return, I have no doubt I will vanquish the Morning Lord's presence and pull in my land.
I turn over my shoulder and I speak like 10% quieter and I say, I think he's afraid of the Morning Lord, guys.
You see, like, his eye twitch and a little cringe. He quite exhausted with every interaction he has with Dunkel. He moves on through the hall.
I want to pause and I want to let Taylor know that Uncle has a charisma of 8.
Oh, Taylor knows.
Okay.
No, that wasn't Taylor saying that. That was Strahd. Like, you can see the look of annoyance on Strahd's face through every interaction. What's that?
There are just times that I feel bad.
Oh, it's okay. Let's see.
Where did Strahd go?
Through the hall into, oh my god, this
In the big room?
yeah, just through the 2 sets of double doors.
Come on, Kevin. Damn it.
Oh, so yeah, there was the guards post along the way. Yeah, okay, so that little hallway area before the second set of double doors, yeah, where you're sitting right now.
Yep.
That is the guards post, I think. Yeah, guards. Okay. The doors open to reveal another set of double doors, 10 feet ahead. Between these doors, a 10-foot wide corridor stretches north to south. At the end of the hall, floating in the darkness, is a human skeleton clad in rusted armor and tattered livery of a castle guard. He's kind of like hanging from pegs on the walls, just being held together with wire. It looks like. Strahd pays it no mind and continues to walk through the second set of double doors, as if it's always been there. He takes you. Finally, he takes you into the audience hall, which is where he is standing now. You can go through the next set of doors. He kind of dim light from the courtyard falls into this great hall through the broken glass and iron latticework of a large window in the west wall. A cold wind shrieks through the broken window as arcs of lightning lance from the weeping skies above, or beyond, each bolt followed by the crack of a nearby thunder. This immense room is a place of chilly, brooding darkness. Empty iron sconces dot the walls. Hundreds of dust-laden cobwebs drape the wall, hiding the ceiling from view. Directly across from the window stands a set of double doors in the east wall. Further south, a single door also leads from the east wall, and then staircases at both ends of the north wall lead down. At the far southern end of the hall, a large wooden throne stands atop a marble dais. The high-backed throne faces south, away from most of the room. Um, Strahd, you hear him click his tongue. I don't know if you can hear that.
No.
Okay. He clicks his tongue, almost like you would click your tongue to call a horse or a dog or something. You see, fluttering from the ceiling, a lone bat that was hanging and flies down and lands on Strahd's shoulder. Strahd says, "Ask Escher to collect our guest in the dining hall," he commands. The bat chirps a single time and then flutters out through the window into the rain. Um, let's see. Strahd shares. He's looking at the throne that is. It's all the way over here. Interestingly enough, facing away from the room. He says, "When I was a child, Saint Andral anointed my father, King Barov, as the rightful heir to the crown of old Zarovia. When my father died, I inherited his crown, and with it, the title of king. However, when the mist descended upon Barovia, the lands I had conquered and my father had conquered were consigned to history. My family's ancestral legacy forsaken, lost. It would be an arrogance beyond folly to name myself king without a kingdom to rule. And so, I keep the king's seat turned away from my reach, as a memento to the lands that I lost. And yet, few things are lost forever," he says softly. We now go back to the dining hall, if I can find it.
Yay.
Oh, heavens. I lost you, Kevin. Where are you? Oh,
Where I've always been, near the food.
I know. Don't I know it?
It's just a surprise that Sal isn't 200 plus pounds.
Baby.
God, fuck me, dude. I'm getting so angry at this map.
Kevin too.
Yeah,
I'd say that with love.
no, that's valid though. I've also questioned it many a time.
There. You went through the hallway. like trying to retrace my steps and just find. Oh, I found it. Oh, it's just directly below. I could have just dropped the slider. Kind of, if you just drop your white slider a little bit, it should just bring you down to where Sasha and Sal are.
In the dining room?
Yeah. I'll just summon you.
I was gonna say it doesn't like me doing that.
In the
Okay.
dining room with the crossbow.
Yeah, right.
Got it.
Okay. Do you remember the? Actually, she's not necessarily there yet, though, Sal. So pretend she's not. Do you remember her instructions?
I was supposed to. Hold on, I wrote it down really fast. Let me. After dinner, linger in dining room and press the 6th pedal from the left on the organ. Sasha will meet me in the chamber after. Don't let Strahd notice. So, Sal presses the 6th pedal from the left on the organ.
Boom! Like a sound, like the tone of the organ goes. And sure enough, a secret door behind the pipe organ opens. Dun, dun, dun.
Does it have fog come out of it?
It can if you'd like.
In my mind, I would. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And Sal cautiously tries to like observe in and make sure that theoretically it's just him and her if she is there. If not, I'd like to at least carefully start not like rushing in, but kind of making my way downtown.
She's there. So yeah, it's you walk through. The castle courtyard is visible through arrow slits in the north and west walls where you are. Leaning against the walls are mirrors of various sizes, some as tall as human and some small enough to fit in a backpack. Sasha is there waiting for you. You actually hear from above you, Sal. Were you followed? And you look up and she's clinging to the ceiling, looking down at you. It's very creepy.
No. Everyone's left. If I'm coming down, it'd be a little easier to talk.
She descends from the shadows behind you and whispers, "Were you followed?"
I said no already. They left.
Just making sure. We have little time, and our absences will surely be noted if we tarry here.
Indeed.
Why did you approach me? Why did you confront me down there? It seems you do not intend to have me killed. But also, you've given me little choice but to comply with your demands.
Well, I was intrigued by your mannerisms, and admittedly, my curiosity got the better of me. So, one thing has led to the next, and now I'm interested in seeing what more you have to say, as you've been quite
She's
secretive.
She squints her eyes at you. She says, "Are you familiar with a man named Aragol?"
Am I familiar with someone by that
You
name?
should be.
I was
He's
gonna say the
Uh,
name sounds familiar, but also at the same time, it's not like a common name.
Aragol is the uncle of the missing Vistani girl. He is the one who was spying for Strahd
Yeah,
and
the
agreed to help you. He slipped a note to Dunkel that said, "Do you remember what the note said?"
Um,
There's a traitor.
It said, "Traitor amongst
Yeah.
Strahd's consorts. Don't know who. May it be of use. Burn this." That's what it
perfect.
said.
Yes, I know of an Aragol.
You can make an insight check.
15.
You see a glint of understanding and knowing in her eyes, as if she also knows exactly who Urgal is and why you know who he is. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
She says, "I am Sasha Ivliskova, Strahd's first and eldest bride. He wed me over 4 centuries ago, in the wake of the loss of his first love, Tatiana Fedorovna. He grew tired of her, however, and when she dared challenge him, he locked her away in a crypt for 400 years, freeing her for unknown purposes shortly after his recent awakening. It was maddening, and a time that I wish to forget forever." She says, "I am old. I am tired. There are 2 things I wish to see before I die: the light of the rising sun and the death of the monster Strahd von Zarevich."
I can applaud your cause. But actually, before I say that, do I? I don't know if I want or need to roll another check, but can I Do I feel like she's telling the truth? I can roll if you would like.
You can roll.
I rolled a 9, but can I use inspiration to reroll?
Sure.
All right, a nat 20 with a 25.
Oh, nat 25 overall. She's telling the most truth. You can see the look of hatred in her eyes, the look of pure exhaustion of putting up with Strahd for the last 400 years. When she mentioned his first true love, Tatiana, there was pain in her eyes. A look of not good enough, a look of just disgust with Strahd and how horrible he is to her. She asks you outright, Sal, "Did you approach me because you wish to steal from the castle?"
Sal reaches towards Sasha gently and slowly, as if to grasp her hands. And Sal looks her in the eye and says, "I approached you because I had a feeling that you were hurt, and because I could tell that something was off. And yes, I am here to steal, sure, because a man must enjoy his pleasures. However, I'm not here to steal specifically material items. My friends and I are here to steal a curse from Barovia and ensure that no further damage is done to this land. I too have lived here for hundreds of years, and it's a shame to see the state of Barovia that it's in.
It seems like our goals align, Salvatore. You wish to rid the land of Barovia of this curse. I wish to see the light of the rising sun before I die. These two things go hand in hand, and the death of Strahd von Zarevich is the way to accomplish this.
Absolutely. So, what do you propose?
She pauses for a moment, looks around her, even though she knows you're in solitude here. I'm willing to share information about the castle's contents, layout, and inhabitants, as well as a time when Strahd will be away from the keep, if you agree to take a certain prisoner with you when you do. Her name is Gertruda, she says, her brows furrowed in worry. She's a villager from the town of Barovia, spirited away as she trod the road towards Velaki. She is alive, for now, but I fear for her life, should she linger any longer in the keep. She's asked me to help free her, if I can. A request that, until now, I had no hope of fulfilling.
Why do you fear for her life? What has she done to be under scrutiny from Strahd?
Strahd is simply a monster. Everybody is his plaything. The longer you stay in the castle, the longer your chance of death, or the greater your chance of death becomes.
And why Gertruda? Why not any of the other wives that Strahd chooses to spend his time with?
Oh, she's simply his new plaything. He bores and tires of us easily, and I must admit, uh, I consider Gertruda a friend.
Is she running from something other than Strahd?
I do not know the reason she was on her way to Velaki. Um, all I know is Strahd took her. Roll a history check.
10.
10. The name Gertruda sounds familiar to you.
Trying to like rack my brain really fast before responding.
Yeah, it's tough. She's hasn't been mentioned in so long. Let's see here. If you remember all the way back when we first started this campaign, before you guys burned the village down,
What?
there,
the mansion.
Oh, allegedly.
allegedly, there was a woman named Mary in the town who mentioned that Gertruda had left to go to the castle. alone. Um,
I do remember that. She like came to the door and was like crying about it.
yep.
Mary was?
And she came to
Yeah. it came to the door.
Ismark's house and was like crying to him about it and like wanted him to stop her.
Hmm.
That was the night that we burned the village to the ground.
So Gertruda, she was Doru's betrothed. Remember Doru, the vampire spawn, who was the son of the priest in the town. You killed him.
Yeah.
Doru was one that kind of led a rebellion against Strahd upon his reawakening, and Strahd sent him back as a vampire spawn as kind of like a warning, taunting. And she became fixated on the castle. She thought that if she could go to the castle and speak with Strahd, she could convince him to set Doru free. She believed him to be in prison because nobody knew Doru was back. Nobody knew he was a vampire. The priest was hiding him.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
can assume she was on the road to see Strahd to talk to him about Doru.
Okay.
Then you guys killed him. So, go ahead.
Sasha, I can give you my word that I will talk to my party, and I will do what I can to bring Gertruda along. However, as I'm sure we all know, I can never promise that guarantees a safe delivery. Is that something
Sal,
that is?
I need you to say yes or no right now. This is the time. Strahd has spies everywhere. This is our only guaranteed safe time to speak on this matter. This is the only time that I can give you information to help. This is the only time that I can share information about the castle. I need you to agree to rescue Gertruda.
Fine. I will.
Good. She smiles. You can see a look of appreciation on her face. The nat 20 carries over. You can see that it is appreciated. I can share the following information about Castle Ravenloft. One might say if you had a pen handy mentally, it would be worthwhile taking notes. I loved watching Missy's hand off camera appear and turn a page.
One-handed with a baby? Damn.
I said I would rock her, but mother.
Oh boy. All right. Ever since his awakening, Strahd has departed the castle once each fortnight atop his nightmare steed Bucephalus on the night of the new moon. I don't know where he goes or what he does, but I know that he doesn't return until the morning's first light. The next new moon is tomorrow night. I have no reason to believe that Strahd will not repeat the pattern again. Now, Gertruda is a prisoner on the 3rd floor of the castle, in the king's suites. You can access the suites via the staircase in the foyer. I don't know any of the traps that Strahd or his servants might have set in the castle. I do know, however, that the inside of the keep is often patrolled by undead wights. WIGHTS. The animated remains of those that once guarded the castle.
It's like a White Walker, you would say.
Whites of the White Walkers animate.
Winter is coming. The King of the North. Strahd keeps prisoners in the dungeons on the floor beneath the castle larders. You can access the dungeons via the staircase in the foyer. Also, I have seen a dragon skull once in the basement chamber that Valenta has more recently transformed into an ossuary. The chamber is behind the closed wooden doors to the west of the kitchen. Although, go ahead.
Can you repeat just that last bit? Because the one word really threw me for a loop, and I got distracted.
Ossuary.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ossuary. She said that she saw a dragon skull once in a basement chamber that Valenta has more recently transformed into an ossuary, which is a container or room in which the bones of dead people are placed.
Perfect. Makes sense to me, I guess.
For Google. And it is behind closed wooden doors to the west of the kitchen. Although I haven't descended there since Strahd freed me from my crypt, the castle catacombs are accessible via the high tower staircase.
Auto die tower?
Okay. So here's what I've
So-
got so far. Tell
I
me
have
if
two more
roll.
bullet points if you want me to hit those first.
Yep.
And then we'll recap and make sure you got it all.
Yep.
Strahd has commanded his spawn to report the presence of any intruders in the castle, and I therefore cannot help you enter the keep yourselves. Or I can't help you enter myself. However, I can share the existence of a second rear servant's entrance into the castle via the servants' courtyard, which allows access to the servants' quarters and kitchens. And lastly, should you require it while navigating the castle, I recall that Strahd's oldest password is, quote-unquote, I come in Dostron's memory. I'm not sure who Dostron is, or whether Strahd still uses it as a password, but I believe him arrogant enough to believe that none of the castle, other than Rahadin, is old enough to remember it.
Okay.
Let's see. So yeah. Do you want me to recap the bullet points again, TLDR, or do you want to go through what you have and I'll?
Yeah,
Sure,
I'll do that.
Okay.
So I have Strahd departs the castle once each fortnight on the night of new moon. Doesn't return until morning's first light. Next new moon is tomorrow.
Mhm.
Gertruda is prisoner on the third floor of castle in King's Suite, which can be accessed by the foyer.
Yeah, staircase in the foyer.
Inside of the keep is often patrolled by whites.
Mhm.
Strahd keeps prisoners in dungeons under larders, which can be accessed by foyer as well.
Yeah, you can access the dungeon via the staircase in the foyer. Yep.
There's a dragon skull in the basement chamber that Valentina turned into an ossuary, which is behind closed doors on the west side of the kitchen.
Mhm.
Castle catacombs are accessible via high tower staircase.
Yep.
Spawn reports presence of any intruders in castle, so Sasha can't help us enter, but rear servants entrance via servants' courtyard, which has access to quarters and kitchens.
Perfect.
And then Strahd's oldest password is I come in Dostron's memory, Dastrahns.
Ooh, so close. Dostron apostrophe S.
I had it one letter off.
Dostron. Yeah. So it's a password he uses or has used for things.
Cool. All right, sending that to myself then, because I texted all that.
Yeah, that was perfect, actually. So you got it. she she says, "We must return to the castle's halls before we are missed. Good luck." You see, Sal, you notice her cast a final mournful glance at the mirrors on the floor, none of which bear her reflection. She then sighs and then steps away into another room. The door leading back to the dining hall is still barely ajar.
Sal would like to do two things. He'd like to look in one of the mirrors to make sure he does see his reflection. And
You do.
Excellent. A sigh of relief. And then he would just like to take a look around to see if anything might be worth grabbing.
It's just mirrors.
Are there any fancy mirrors like the one I found in the mud?
There's like nice ornate looking mirrors.
Yep, taking one.
Yeah, you can take a small mirror.
Excellent.
Probably the size of your hand.
Beautiful. And then I hurry back out into the dining room area and repress the 6th key.
Okay. The organ closes and almost perfectly perfectly timed Escher enters the chamber. The Knight of Flowers looking guy. And he says, This way, please." He doesn't even notice that you were gone. And escorts you back up through the route that Strahd gave the tour and into the audience hall.
As we walk through, I ask Escher, "What valuable information did I miss by hanging back to finish my dinner?"
He says, I don't give the tours. And he just walks a little faster.
Sal huffs and follows.
Sal, you rejoin in the audience hall with everyone else. Escher brings you politely.
Hey there.
Rahadin ascends and enters the room, accompanied by another figure. If you remember, Rahadin is like his oldest, like crony. Anyone that's near him hears the screams of people, a chorus of screams. Rahadin holds a chain in his right hand. Its links are connected to a steel collar clamped tightly around the neck of the stumbling figure he drags forward behind him. The figure's features are obscured by the sack they wear over their head, their clothes torn away and replaced by a threadbare, shapeless robe. "Punctual as always, I see," Strahd greets Rahadin. Upon approaching Strahd and you all, Rahadin halts and then yanks the chain harshly forward, forcing the prisoner to kneel. "The prisoner awaits your judgment, my lord," he says coldly. At Strahd's nod, Rahadin rips away the sack covering the figure's head, revealing its features. The figure is a man, his eyes wide and terrified. His body, however, has been warped beyond recognition, his muscles grotesquely swollen, his skin cracked and fissured like the parched earth. Most unsettling of all are the 4 lumps that adorn his shoulders, each resembling a tiny, misshapen head with its eyes squeezed shut. Strahd turns towards you expectantly. This man is a convicted murderer. He was a Valachian who murdered his neighbor after he caught his wife and the neighbor having an affair. Told for a wooden beam from the victim's own home and used it to crush him to death. Strahd said gravely, shaking his head. He clicks his tongue. A savage brute. For his crimes, he was sentenced to death. I have been impressed with your martial prowess, but what I seek is to see what you will do when faced with an enemy that bears no sword. A lord's justice is unlike the justice of the battlefield, he says, and it has come time to decide how this creature will pass from this world. He looks at you all. How should it be done?
Someone banged this dude's wife, so
So he killed them, and then he wants us to kill him. He wants us to tell him.
I don't
to
think
kill
he's asking us to kill him. I think he's asking us the method in which he should die.
Shouldn't be done at all.
Why are you allowed to kill people, but he's not allowed to kill people?
He stares blankly.
Damn.
What a terrible set of rules.
And you've watched us kill a lot of people, and like we're not here.
He shakes his head in disappointment.
Woman was your mother.
He continues to ignore your protests. He says, a pity. And he gestures for Rahadin to replace the sack over the man's head. I had hoped for a better showing from you. Ludmilla shall have them instead, then. I shall expect she'll enjoy inspecting his numerous deformities. The man, as the sack is placed back over his head, starts to laugh, like, chaotically. I smell amber, he wheezes. You think yourselves above me, but you carry its stink as well. Does it whisper to you as well, I wonder? The amber? And then Rahadin yanks the chain and leads the prisoner out of the room, presumably to Ludmilla. Strahd ponders. He says, there are many accursed things long since lost in this land. It is best not to dwell on them overmuch, as this poor soul did. He, let's see.
Why do you have all those little heads?
He says, there are some in Barovia who attempt to deal with powers far darker than I. One way or another, they all receive their reward in the end.
Do you look like someone like from the Abbot?
He did not. No, he doesn't look like one of the mongrel folk. Strahd kind of changes tones a little bit. Well, I thank you for an enjoyable evening and the pleasures of your company.
Why did you want to know how we would kill him?
What?
Why did you want to know how we were going to kill that guy with all the heads?
He says, well, like I said, I wanted to see what you would do when faced with an enemy that bears no sword.
How do you know we didn't have a soul?
Sword. No weapon.
Lord.
Who's to say he was our enemy? Have you never committed a crime of passion, Strahd?
He looks annoyed. He says, as I was saying, sadly, the night is sadly drawing to a close, Sal. As he does, a bolt of lightning strikes one of the drawbridge towers. A flash of blinding white light fills the air above the courtyard, and an explosion of sound rattles the broken glass and iron latticework of the chamber's large window. As the acrid scent of ozone fills the room, you see a cloud of thick black smoke rising from one of the towers besides the raised drawbridge. Strahd looks annoyed. You are in no danger. It simply appears a stray bolt of lightning has struck a part of the keep. Shortly thereafter, Ludmilla enters the chamber, her expression stony. She bows deeply before Strahd. It appears that a bolt of lightning has struck the south gate tower, my lord. I have dispatched Diavola, one of my apprentices, to inspect the tower mechanism and determine whether any repairs will be required. Strahd looks annoyed. And he quickly turns back on his host mode. Please, I invite you back to the Great Entry for refreshments as we wait for Diavola's report. Escher, who accompanied you, Sal, let's see, is standing there. Strahd kind of motions to Escher. Send for wine and tea from the kitchens, Escher, will you? Yes, my lord. And Escher runs off. And Escher he starts to run off, and he kind of looks back at you and motions for you to follow, to head back down to the Great Entry.
I'll follow suit.
Yep.
Strahd walks with you, and you head back down to the Great Entry. Escher comes out of the kitchens bearing a tray containing mugs of spiced wine and herbal tea. Sasha also is coming out with a tray of wine and tea and gives you a look, Sal, and a slight nod, and passes out refreshments to you all. Strahd leaves the room momentarily and then comes back and I apologize for the delay and inconvenience. I have full faith in Ludmilla and her associates to remedy any problem. And almost just like that, the great doors from the entry of the castle open to reveal an unhappy, soaking wet-looking Barovian witch. Ludmilla says, Diavola, you've returned. Please, deliver your report to the master. Diavola casts her eyes towards the ground as she bows hurriedly towards Strahd, stammering, Forgive me, Great One. The lightning has scorched the runes inscribed into the upper tower. The bridge, it will not work until the runes are freshly cast. Strahd has a stone-cold stare on his face, emotionless. Can you recast the tower runes? Diavola nods, wringing her hands, and licking her lips. Yes, but I would require the aid of the full coven. And even then, it could take until morning. Then see that it is done by then. Or just Diavola bows deeper than she already was and flees up the stairs until she's out of sight. Strahd turns to you. Apologies again for the inconvenience. It appears that I will be unable to send you home via the carriage this evening. Should you wish it, I would be more than glad to have rooms prepared for the night. Our guest quarters are warm and comfortable, and in far better condition than many of the other chambers in the castle. He gives like a menacing grin.
I mean,
We're far away from like everything, right? Like, there's not. If we were to leave, we would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's nighttime,
yeah.
and it would
Here.
definitely be a few hours to get anywhere. He notices like the look of maybe hesitation on your faces. No servant of mine will lay a hand on you for as long as you remain within your rooms. And you will, of course, be free to go in the morning once the storm subsides and the bridge is repaired.
I told you guys we shouldn't have had dinner here.
Either way, I think we're
Lord
stuck.
of the land. Can't even figure out a bridge.
Well, I hear you.
Yeah, I think we're stuck here for now.
You're welcome, of course, to pitch your tents in the front courtyard. But I cannot guarantee your safety from any creature that may lurk amidst the castle grounds.
This is pretty embarrassing for you. I mean, really, like, of all people, you don't have the strength to get us back to where we came from?
Unfortunately not, Uncle. Would you like a room? Or a tent?
No, I'm not staying here. Are you out of your
Well,
mind?
Enjoy your tent, Dunkel. But again, I cannot promise safety from the creatures that lurk amidst the castle grounds.
You can't promise anything. You can't promise travel. You can't promise safety. You're doing a bang up job. Your dad would be proud.
I'm promising you a room, Dunkel.
How kind. I look around to the rest of the party and I'm just like, you asked for this. I told you this was a bad idea.
Like, we all agreed it was a bad idea. We just didn't have any other choices.
Yeah, also, everybody told us it was a bad idea not to say no.
He's so powerful. He's going to kill us all whenever he wants. Can't get us across a little moat.
The-
PK.
I hear you, Dunkel, but I also don't think that those two skills are related.
I don't know. I mean, he seems to fly in whenever he wants, like to meet us on a path, right?
How do we know it's him and not just an illusion when he flies in?
I don't know why.
Strahd says, you're simply boring me with this talk and this discussion. It is a simple yes or no question. Would you
Maybe
like
I
a room?
stuttered. I'll
He continues speaking over top of you and says, Rahadin, see to them that they have rooms should they wish. If not, please escort them out the castle grounds. And he turns on a heel and he walks away.
Oh, I guess
Rahadin
that's
stands
one of
there
the-
and awaits what you would like to do.
think.
I mean,
If Uncle's staying outside, I'll stay with him. I'm used to staying outside.
I'm trying to leave in general. I don't just want to sleep outside of his front door. I don't want to be here.
I mean, obviously, but it's nighttime. Like, we don't have much for choice.
Wouldn't be the first time we traveled at night.
I would like to look at Radine and say, excuse me, may we have a little space while we discuss amongst ourselves, please?
Absolutely not.
Huh.
And as you approach, you still like you're in your mind. You're hearing this, like just screaming from thousands of individuals as you're near him.
Jesus.
I look at him and I say, could you at least go over there? It's a little loud when you're close.
He just
And I
stares
do
at
all
you.
of those motions too.
Oh, he stares. He just stares at you.
Well, if one of us is staying outside, we should all stay outside. It's best not to split up in these situations.
He says, the master was right. If you stay outside, your chance of survival is slim to none.
Your master's a punk.
He says, my master could snap his fingers and you would all be dead in an instant.
Sure, but he can't fly me across a moat.
He could.
Super powerful.
He says, he says, the storm may be far less kind than you expect, and you would not be the first individual to lose their lives in a flight of folly from castle walls.
Cool, so now I won't let him do it. Thanks. 10 minutes ago, he should have said sure. And now I think he's a punk and a poor host.
Well, besides those points, Dunkel, I maybe it would be worth our time to try to get a good night's sleep, and we could all stay together in one room, so that way we can ensure each other's safety, stay warm, eat food if needed, and discuss our future plans for
As long as
tomorrow.
there's a blade of grass in the Great Dale, I'm not sleeping in this castle. That's that. I've already let you guys talk me into dying once.
He just
What
told us
happened?
we're gonna
I
die
didn't
out
wanna-
there.
I would like to address the staging of the room really fast and ensure that Sal is in front of Rahadin, so like Rahadin can see the back of Sal's head, but not the front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd like to try to like make eye contact with Dunkel and give him a very subtle wink as he says, Dunkel, perhaps we could use some time to think out our next steps.
Dunk will make an insight check. Dunkel, you understand Sal has something that he needs to share with you, and he really is hoping that you go along with what he's saying right now. Like he's being cryptic
Why?
for a reason, I guess, right? Or I guess maybe you can explain, Kevin, like with that insight check, what you're trying to portray.
Yeah, no, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like he's trying to non-committally show Dunkel that he has information or like he would like to have the conversation in a sly manner that should seem nonchalant to Rahadin in order to not raise suspicion. But
And with the 19, Dunkel, you definitely pick up on that.
You can find me outside. Rockadine, set up my tent.
I have no tent for you. You can use your own.
No, you don't even listen to your master.
My
Are you
master offered you a room, not a tent. He said you can sleep in your own tents. It seems that you are the one who does not listen, Dunkel, as you surely love the sound of your own voice more than anyone else's.
It's been a pleasure.
Escher. He claps his hands, and Escher appears. Lead those who are willing to accept the master's hospitality to their rooms. Escher appears, and he says, and for those who do not wish to accept the master's hospitality, please follow me. And he starts to head down back towards. Well, you're already in the entrance, and he kind of just walks you towards the double doors for whoever is leaving the castle. And then Escher is leading anyone who is going to stay in the castle to their rooms. So I guess we'll end the session with deciding who is staying where, since it seems that it's a little split.
I would go with Dunkel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we should split up, so I also go with Dunkel.
yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to split the party, but
Bad idea.
yeah,
Okay.
disappointedly bad idea is where Sal's at actually, as he visibly drags his feet towards the doors.
Yeah.
You can like definitely stay inside. Like Gav Dog, you two, I can protect him. I think I'll be okay.
The dude just said you have a slim chance of surviving out there.
Yeah, but like, I'm really strong.
Okay. Yeah, we're all gone.
He also doesn't have the power to fly us over a moat. So what's gonna fly over the moat and kill me? I guess I'll learn, Rahadin.
So you're asking why someone doesn't have the ability to fly another person?
I'm saying like Strahd is like so powerful and like this like the whole world is like under his thumb, but they're just like, yeah, you're just stuck here. Like, bummer. Like, we don't have to be. Like, this is just his choice. So like
I mean, I don't think he has the power to like teleport someone and make them fly.
that makes me think he's like not that crazy powerful. Like he's
Oh,
just
fair.
he's okay. So there's a guy in a castle that like
That makes sense.
Alright, so we all go outside.
The closer that Sal gets to Rahadin and the louder the screams get, I think he's actually going to turn back, and I think he's going to hang out with Escher.
Okay.
Because I think Sal's thinking about waking up in the morning with a breakfast and going, this will be okay.
Okay.
for Alex. If she's awake, you can ask her, and if not, Missy can roll for her decision.
Are you still awake? Oh, she's asleep.
Want me to roll evens while my adds another?
Or like everyone can talk about what they think she would do, or
I would say
Fair.
just roll for it.
All right, so evens are.
I mean,
With-
she's just gonna make her choice at the start of the session next week.
Yes,
Why don't we
that's
just
Oh
wait?
yeah, that's also true.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, is everyone locking their answer in?
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
Staying outside definitely wasn't something I thought anyone would take up on, but okay. Sal's staying in, everyone else is staying outside. Okay, locking it in.
You didn't think I was gonna stay outside?
Oh no,
Well,
not
fine.
staying outside and fighting to the death.
All right. I will.
That's so dark, Taylor. I guess so is outside.